Hey there, guys. We've got news for Global on February 22nd for the Collection of Mana collaboration, as we kind of knew from the live stream. And joining me to discuss the news is Sketch. So you can say hello, Sketch. You've been here before.
Hello, everybody.
So you asked for the Mana collab. So tell me why these units are amazing, Sketch.
Um, because they're based off of characters from a very very good game. Yeah.
Well,
Um,
I
the
definitely
game.
agree. I definitely agree with you there. Secret of Mana. I've only played the original. Actually, no, I played the next one as well, the sequels. I played two of them, but it was old school, but it was really fun. Did you play all of them, the first, second, and third, or just the one that came to America?
So I played a lot more than the three. There's six
Oh,
of them.
okay.
Uh, and there actually is going to be a new Mana game coming out this year, which is like the hypest thing that I'm excited for this year. It actually looks gorgeous. It's like a like basically if you remember the like playing the original game, right? Like and how the graphics were like back then.
Mm-hmm.
We're basically getting a Mana style game with Final Fantasy VII remake level graphics. So
Uh,
I am ecstatic.
that's pretty cool.
Uh, but this is one of my favorite series of all time. This is probably like my second or third favorite series. Um, it's a big deal for me. Like I every time the Mana units come around, I pull for them. Uh, Unfortunately, most of the time the Mana units are not very good. I don't know why they just really just do not like mana. But whereas they crap out so many Dragon Quest units one after the other, and a lot of them are at least usable. Like yeah. But these units are like really cool. If you are a fan of the series, like I am, like as you will see when we get down, like, I can see you playing. But as everybody knows about MP Plus around the corner, it's kind of hard to pull for anything.
Yeah, and I'd have to just like temper the expectations of my viewers by letting them know that these units are honestly not very good. And like Sketch says, if you're a fan of the units, by all means pull for them. But if you care even a little bit about the meta, do not touch. Do not touch. They're not getting upgrades. Their damage is terrible. We know they fall off. Like, well, Prim just comes out the gate no good, and then Randy, his damage is not there even today, and it's going to drop really hard really quickly because they're not getting any upgrades, which basically means they're not getting new categories. So like you can't even put Randy on like Tyvis's leader skill with Clash of Wills Water. The only leader skill he'll have is either his own, which he's not going to lead the party because it's only for mana units, and a low one for water. Roos is better for a pure water party, and he doesn't even fit on Tyvis's. So yeah, it's
Well, he does go on Inks though.
well, I mean, oh, if you mean inside Clash of Wills, oh god, you're definitely not taking him inside of Clash of Wills. His damage is
Yeah,
way too far.
I'm just saying that like if you're out there and you're wanting to do casual runs and just have fun with Clash of Wills, he at least has somewhere that he can go. I am not recommending that.
Yeah. And as we were kind of discussing before the video, yeah, his step up is generic. They just copied the units from like last week. It's like no effort at all, no perks, nothing. Like they just know that they're not going to bother, so no one else is either, except for Sketch. And yeah, I don't know. It is unfortunate because, like I said, I really like this game. I thought the game was really cool. I kind of wish they'd have some villains from the game because the game did have a few cool villains. Thanatos. I liked Geshtar a lot. Was my favorite villain
Oh,
from the series, from the game.
sure.
But yeah, they never gave any of those, even in JP. Unfortunate.
Yeah, it's this whole collab in JP is like really weird. Like yeah, they're gonna like troll the living tar out of me. Just like these things get buffed, but they're gonna buff Papoy. Like it's just gonna be like a character that's like not very popular, but that's the one they're gonna buff. They're gonna just be like, I don't know, Papoy has a plus 50 LB mod for no reason, and it's not the main character of the game. It's just, it's the trolliest thing that I can come up with that they're gonna do just to spite me.
I mean, they are splitting the banners in 2 weeks, so maybe. But how could they even buff him? I don't even understand. But yeah, I'm not going to spend a ton of time going into the unit. He's a water damage dealer. His damage is low. I'll give you a calculation with no buffs. He's like way down here, which is not the worst thing ever. But keep in mind, he's a water unit, so the only Dark Vision's leader skill that works for him is Roost or his own. His own is 750, but it's 750 for mana only and 500 for water. So if you're using a water team in Dark Visions, a pure water team, Roost is going to lead the party at 600, or more realistically, Deity Typhus is going to lead it at 750 for all the real water units. But yeah, like I don't mean to hate on this unit because I really like the unit himself, but I just have to have people aware he's not good.
Yeah. I as I say for I say this in like very commonly. This is a sketch unit where like I'm going to throw tickets and I'm not telling anybody else to pull. Because I have a collection thing that I do on the side, where I just pull for units that I like a lot of the time and just make them work in fun parties and like go do trials and stuff like that. And that's how I get extra content out of the game. Because as you know, we have Dark Visions and Flash Wolves, and that's it, right? So like I want to get more out of the game and stuff like that. Even I'm not spending Lapis on this. There was a chance that I did spend Lapis if there were buffs, right? Like if there were reasonable buffs.
Oh, sure.
Where like if they gave him like morale scaling on his LB and he was good in Clash Wolves or something like that, like all right, cool, yeah, I'll spin that. But like I have units that I will get to pull for that are faves, like Dark Fina, that are also just good units, right? Like Dark Fina will see play on teams. Like you're not just pulling for favorite at that point, right? So it's very hard for me to justify pulling for more than tickets. I'm gonna pull for tickets. I will be happy getting either of them. I do think Prim is light ever. It's just I'm gonna try, and then if tickets fail, like all right, this is it's your fault for not buffing them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, if I get him from a video summons, sure, I'll give him 1,000 VIP coins in EX2 because limited unit, but if he doesn't come from a video summon, he's not getting a single ticket from me. So, yeah, unfortunate, but no. The vision card is terrible. It's 150 attack and it's got some stats for mana units. It's whatever. And then Prim we'll pop over here real quick and show her damage. Her damage is basically tied down here with Elaspiris, which is to say doesn't exist in Dark Visions. She's like a field unit with 40% fields. Now, she's got a lot of them, and they do buff resistances as well as amplify, which could arguably see use in niche scenarios, but 40% fields when we just got Aang at 70, and as we know, all the fields going forward are going to be 70. It's a hard sell, and she doesn't do any damage of her own, unlike someone like Aang or upcoming, the other field units. Yeah, so try to sell her to us, Sketch. What's good about her?
It's great. So jokes aside, I think that there is I think that there's going to be uses. Like there may be needs, but I think there could be uses for where you want the resistance stacking from the field with something else. I think it could make some accounts easier for some of like the very demanding gear trials where like your characters may need evade plus resistances or whatever. Because she doesn't deal damage anyway, right? So she herself is pretty easy to gear. Like just ignore that she has has damage abilities at all except for just training. I think that could be cool. Obviously, we have all the 70s, and those are gonna. My one argument is she has 5 fields, and if you're somebody that doesn't have a lot of field units, where you just got like unlucky or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely get use out of her, especially for things like Vision World and stuff like that. 100% can get use out of her. Is she the best unit in the world? No. But like, I think she has her uses of like with just in her support kit that you can make some arguments for her. She also has, I don't know how much this matters, but she also has for all of her elements she has imbue with an amplify attached to it. So like, if you need an external imbue, which I did see multiple people complain when they were copying people's videos for Visual World that like example somebody wanted to use XF but he needed an external imbue and they just couldn't fit it on the team, right? Um, like she could do something like that. It is very niche, but like that is the kind of levels that we're having to look at for something like this, right? We're having like because like 40% amp failures already exist. Does this combination exist already? I'm pretty sure no.
Yeah.
Oh, and she does a lot. She does a lot of them. It's just the 70s are coming. But if you were somebody that just doesn't have ampers at all, like this is something you could throw tickets at. I think like your account would need it, right? This is not this like an overall blanket of this unit is good pull for it. Obviously, it's like people know if they need something like this, and I think there's a small niche amount of the community that could benefit from her. But obviously, pull for the better thing later if you can.
Yeah.
Obviously, hope you get it if you can.
Maybe.
The cool thing is, with it being collaboration units, you do get like EX2 for free, right? So, like, that's neat. Like we said earlier, though, this is not something you should be going out of your way to get. Really, there will be some people that I think probably could use tickets on it for sure. Not saying go crazy or anything, but I think she will offer something like her amp fields and her support package can offer some cool things. They're just not necessary, right?
Yeah, she's overall, very, very specialized. Like, you could make a case like the fields and all that, but on the whole, you're not going to be seeing too much use of her. But the good news is we're getting the event dungeon at least. This is a farm. I mean, not that I'm excited to do a farming dungeon because it's not very exciting, but it does give you a lot of resources, and that's always nice. A bunch of tickets, some lapis, STMR moguls, all that kind of fun stuff. So it's a farming event. You farm it. The gear is generic, whatever. Who cares? It's not that great. And then there is an EX stage that is opening then. So I don't remember from JP if it was hard or not. I think it had a mission for like maybe it had mana units only. I don't remember, but it's not locked to that though, so you can take whatever you want. But there might be a mission for like mana only, but I don't remember.
I hope there is because that sounds fun to me. A lot of people are just gonna skip it, but like that mission obviously, but like that sounds like something fun to me, especially if the fight's like not super easy.
It does not sound fun to me because my only mana units are the 2 free ones we've ever gotten. And I got Duran twice. So my Duran is at EX1. And then I got Angela on the last one. And I never pulled for her. So Angela is at EX0 and 30 login shards. I can't even EX1 Angela. That's the entirety of my mana units. So I do not want this to be locked to mana, but it probably is. And maybe if I can use a friend to like, I don't know, Duran can tank, and then someone can pull Randy and carry me. So someone pull Randy. There you go, Sketch. That's your duty. You're gonna pull a Randy, and you're gonna carry me on the stage.
I mean, I'm down. Like especially if they give me a video summon one, super down. I'll gear them as best as I can. I was going to mention, do you happen to remember if we got the NBA for the old Popoi? If so, you have that.
Oh no, we didn't. I remember this specifically because people were like really salty because those came with the STMRs and those were like flat stats for mana units. And because Global skipped them, like their Angela was missing 500 magic from this chest slot. I think this was before Clash of Wills gear. So this is like way back.
Yeah. No, it was a super long time ago. That's why I couldn't remember. It's like, oh, did we get that? I know later, like when the second round of units came out, like way later after that, they just added it as a passive and we just never got the gear. Like, the Dragon Quest thing all over again. It's like, why give these people gear? We'll just throw stuff and give you even less. Like, you don't even get to farm for this piece of gear. It's a passive. Like, what?
And then the other change is the Knight of Clarius. I believe this is, what's her name? The one that has the hammer. I can't think of her name. Pearl's TMR. There's no real change. It's just like Mana Series becoming Mana Series category. That's more of a technical change, not a real change. If you remember the tabs of the sorting, some of them are series or whatever, and the other one is the categories. It's just a technical change. It's still going to affect the same things. And then this is just the full breakdown ability for everything is being upgraded. So, as we can see, what we're not getting is the upgrades for Hawkeye and some other mana units that we skipped last time, and people were kind of like maybe assuming we'll get them in the future when mana comes back again, but looks like we're still not getting the upgrades for those units.
I'm slowly on the Gumi's out to get me. Like, man, like it just feels like they've done so many things lately that just like directly targeted at me. Like, let's just skip Rydia. Let's just skip anything that would be cool with mana. They won't, but they'll skip Darkina or something. Like, that's about where I'm prepared at. They're not going to, but like, it just seems like it's multiple things that I get excited. This is why you don't be like me. Don't be like me. Don't get excited. Don't get excited for you to get stuff, because you're not going to get it.
It just doesn't really make sense. Like, why would they keep skipping Hawkeye's upgrades? Like, I could maybe see the rationalization that they knew Elespirus was being buffed and Hawkeye kind of competed with that. But now that Elespirus is way better than buffed Hawkeye, like, is giving Hawkeye his 160 in peril going to really be that big a deal? I mean, come on. But I guess it is. I guess it is. And then the other thing is very, very late. We are now getting the third, I guess it's not that, like a month and a half late. The Sealed Tower Level 3. So this was due when Faislis came out. This is, what, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago? It's not too late, I guess. It's still late. And yeah, so level 3 of the Sealed Tower. So this is similar to the previous one, the Garuda Tower, where you go in, a lot of encounters, locked to Season 4 only, and you go in here. And this one is a little strange because either they're skipping the upgrades or they're taking them out or they're just not announcing them. But the whole point of the tower, level 3, was to give you the silver crowns for Roos, and his crowns are not listed. So do you think they're going to just take them out of the tower, or is it just not mentioned in the news sketch?
I think they're gone. I think they went, you guys don't need stuff, you got on. I legitimately think that's how they're thinking. Ong's gonna do everything. You don't need Roos. You don't need Roos upgrades. You guys can pull for the new Roos when he comes in. You don't need to worry about it. Like, that's just how I am starting to feel about things, because with them skipping the things the way they are, they're just like, well, like, we don't have to give you that. We just make you pull for it on another unit. Like, I'll be honest, I'm completely shocked that we got Celeste's upgrade. We did.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not even busted or anything. I'm just surprised we got them all. Like, it seems to be on repeat now that they skip things, and then they either delay them to where they don't matter, or they're just like, it just doesn't matter. Look at this shiny thing over here to distract us. And I'm just that's my camp is, we got Ong or Anger. I actually don't know how to actually pronounce this name correctly. Forgive me, Barry. It's one of the two. But, they're like, you got him. You don't need upgrades. So, like, it's content. I shouldn't be upset. But like you said, like, the main reason to do this was for the crowns that aren't there.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so I guess we'll be doing that on Thursday. I don't even know if I'm going to record this, just because it's so many encounters. I might just record, like, the final boss. Yeah, because, like, it's a lot of encounters. But, I guess that's it. So, we're going to be farming these. We have the stage for this, so I'll be doing that. I'll definitely do a video for this one, the Revived Mana Fortress. So, farming, tower, Clash of Wills is still open, and that's it. And we do know that next week we're getting Popoi as a standalone unit. So, that'll be interesting to see. Thanks again for joining me, Sketch.
Yeah. I appreciate it. I'm sorry we didn't have anything cool and exciting to talk about. Mm-hmm. Literally nothing else.
There isn't. I seriously hope that they just, like, put in the Roos's upgrades and don't announce them. Well, I don't hope that they don't. I hope that they did and forgot to announce them. I hope that wasn't intentional.
Yeah, I I'm sorry. I'm a little bit lost for words because I was like, there's no way these units don't get buffs, and there's no way that the way that the event and stuff is set up is going to work the way it was. Because like when the news first came up and I saw the skill tower thing, I was immediately on the roof trans. It's like, all right, yeah, so we got crowns. This is more content. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's not really content. It's just like it looks like it's content, but it's not content. And
Yep.
like, it's just such a depressing week. Like, I'm gonna do some tickets. I'm sorry for people that are Mana fans that didn't get buffed. Like, units are okay, but the problem is we're about to hit power creep, and they're just gonna be invalidated.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, see you for that on Thursday. Later.
Yeah.